Thank you for watching Meet the Coach series Part E, titled My Mind, the Coaching Perspective. This is what has informed my coaching model and the coaching philosophy of COMETSA. It all began in a very small village where I grew up, the small village of Moripane in the Greater Sekhukhune Municipality in the Limpopo Province. This is a small village in Jane Furse where my life journey started. Growing up in my grandfather's house, not knowing what was to become of me, was a great experience. Being a head boy was what I did without questioning. And my grandfather, Papedi Jimson Bajani, was enlightened about the importance of education. He always wanted me to balance schooling and being a head boy at the same time. But I also had to do domestic work like fetching water from Waritsi River, cooking, doing washing, and cleaning the house. I was not aware that these duties kept me away from street life and gave me some of the skills that I was to need in my future life. Obviously, one used to be a joke to the village boys who did not have to do these duties. I say thank you to my late uncle, Zebra Mateve Bajani, who loved football so much that I became motivated to join the other boys and became one of the great footballers in the village football club of Moripane Scientists FC. Football today is one of sports I used to refresh my mind with. I use football to impart the knowledge of life to my fellow South Africans, especially the youth. Growing up in the small rural village of Moripane brought me to the realization that my life was not destined to be the easy one. I was born from the mother who was one of the many children in a tradition where education for women was not given high priority. I was certainly not going to make it in life. When others might have experienced deep despair or anger, my response was to contain and harness my feelings by entering the solution-seeking mode. There was a little bit of bitterness, especially comparing myself to other children. In the African tradition, the boy child from the sons are always seen, or is always seen as investment compared to the son of the daughters. I clearly understood the implications for my future. I was confined to being with my grandparents who looked after me very well. I, though, had to look after the livestock and do a lot of domestic work as well, as I've already mentioned. This is African tradition and practice, at least in those days. It shaped my perspective about life. It taught me that irrespective of difficult circumstances one faces, one has a choice to make. I chose the positive approach and crafted my own journey and defined my own destiny. Young in my life, I made a commitment to making education my escape from poverty. Education became my undisputed answer. And I remember sitting in the library at Wabarango College, studying like it was the end of my life. I opted not to go home during the school holidays, just to make sure that I stay on course with my studies. Going home will have distracted my dedication to my destiny, I thought then. Therefore, I worked very hard indeed throughout. As you will soon later hear from me in this production or in the future productions, I ultimately went overseas in Europe, to be specific in Germany, for further development. This became a confirmation to me that I had chosen the correct option, and then it was payback time. At the same time, I pursued my university education through distance learning at the University of South Africa, UNISA, after I had transferred my studies from Wits University. I wrote most of my examinations while in Germany and continued with my corporate development program in the German companies. This is now my standing desire for my youth coaching clients, and it informs my model. I always encourage the clients, especially the young one, to be broad-minded and take education as an answer to many of their frustrations or challenges that they may be facing. The journey of my life provides a number of lessons for me. Life is about surviving at all times. Hard work is a non-negotiable character that every nation must nurture among its people to safeguard the country's future. It does not, however, mean that we have to work ourselves to death. There must be fun in learning and developing ourselves. And learning and development, or education in general, should become part of our lifestyle. In the face of misery and hopelessness, I could have given up on life, but I chose to make my situation a motivation to focus on the lasting solutions that I personally sought and got. Facing poverty in the face is scary indeed. You do not know where the next solution is going to come from and under what conditions it is going to be given. I defied the odds and became the most successful among many of my peers. In my case, it was more than just personal development. It was also about identifying and the sense of belonging to the successful in the society. I indeed appreciate the Ubuntu module that was offered during my coaching course, as it really spoke to me, because it addressed this perspective that I'm sharing with you now. I was able to contain the pain, the diversity, the complexity, and still not lose track of my own vision in developing my coaching program. Whenever I visit home and meet some of my childhood friends who went under, it saddens me. That could have been me, I often say. When speaking to them, however, they appreciate me and feel honored that I still regard them as my very best friends. I am part of them, and they are part of me. I'm aware that I have worked abnormally very hard throughout my life when I was doing my studies and also into corporate phase, and until I became self-employed at COMETSA Group. I'm not expecting any of my coaching clients to follow my approach though. We are all different and can achieve same success using different approaches. This is what COMETSA Professional and Executive Coaching Program offers its clients as an option to consider. However, the continuous professional development and hard work have become my second nature. It is as if I was preparing myself for the present day South Africa, because the current terrain and the climate in South Africa, and indeed the world at large, is really tough. I feel ready for it though. I'm taking challenges and turning them into opportunities through my coaching for myself and for my clients. And the benefit of this orientation is that I use it as a reference point in my coaching business. That is, wanting to change one's situation through a constructive means, in this case education, enables one to dip into his or her energy sources to make a change. So this is what informs my perspective, and I will continue sharing with you the journey that has defined me in the next episode of the series. Once again, the invitation is open. Come, let us be your partner through coaching. Visit us at www.cometsa-goc.com or send us an email at callcenter@cometsa-goc.com or call us at 011-974-9308 and let us discuss how coaching can help you achieve your destiny. Thank you. Goodbye.